So good morning. Here we go. I'm here at Vintage Beach with Joe Hutchinson, and this is going to kind of be like what you've seen before. It's just another person's view on these two storms and basically what we've all gone through and what he's gone through with the cleanup and running a business in these times and whatnot. So yeah, I've known Joe for a long, long time, and so yeah, tell us a little bit about the shop, what you've gone through, and whatnot. Yeah.
Well, we came back after Helene and we had had about 18 inches of water in the store. And so a lot of the stuff we had put up because, we had never had water in here before, but because of the nature of the storm, we thought we might, but we didn't expect that. So we did lose some things. We lost quite a bit of stuff, but the majority of the stuff had been put up high. And so we just came into a mess. There was mud all through the store, and luckily it didn't go over our electrical outlets, and so we were without power like everyone else. But it was just a cleanup job of taking everything out of the store and mucking everything out with a squeegee, and then we came back in and we had just gotten everything almost cleaned up, and then the other storm was coming. So for that storm, we loaded everything out of the store. All about my two girls at work here, we loaded everything and took it to my house in town. And so that was great because that was a windstorm rather than a flood event. So it was just very stressful to have to take everything out of the store. And then we came back and we reset the whole store, and it took us probably 2 weeks to get everything together. And but the second storm was better for us, and it as far as the wind, but there was still a lot of damage. Uh, we brought everything back and we painted the floors, and luckily this building is mostly all concrete. So we had recovered from that one a little bit quicker than we did from Helene. But I'd never seen that kind of water damage on the island before. And then both storms were pretty damaging. And one of the girls that works here lost her home completely. So it was pretty stressful for everybody.
Yeah.
And
Um, we've gone through quite a few of these, me and you, and growing up here, and some of them we just kind of laughed at, and it was it's just another hurricane. Was this one in your mind? Did you Were you a little bit more concerned about these both of these?
the
Really?
the first one, Helene, I wasn't that concerned because it was a ways off the coast. I didn't expect the storm surge like it. They always predict a big storm surge. Sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't. But I had never seen the kind of water damage from this storm, from Helene, that ever in my whole life, in over 60 years. I've never seen a storm cause that kind of damage. And I don't know how many hurricanes I've been through, but probably 20 or 30.
Yeah.
And I've never seen that kind of damage. And then the next storm came through, and obviously it wiped out the rod and reel, and it tore people's homes off. And that was my concern, was tornadoes for that storm. But once it went below us, I pretty much knew we wouldn't get the water event like we did with Helene. But yeah, it's heartbreaking to see what everybody's been through. And that's why with the store, when we came back, we said, there's nothing, people are giving out free food, restaurants and things like that. And I said, the only thing we can do is just discount our inventory to make it available to people that have lost everything.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit what you're doing on that
We're,
for
we're
the community.
all of our clothing is 50% off. So they're basically buying it wholesale. So everything they're buying is, it's going to, so that I can keep my employees, and we've had a real good response from everybody, and yeah, so that's basically all we're doing is, just offering a major discount, and it's gone over really well. We had a woman come in here and she said, I packed a bag to evacuate, but I don't have, my clothes are all ruined.
Right.
So she came in and bought some things to get her through. And so it feels good to be able to do something, because I felt pretty helpless in that what I could do for anybody, because we had our own problems. And I think a lot of people are that way. They've lost their homes, they've lost their cars, and that's basically, so now it feels good to be able to give back a little bit, to offer a little relief to people.
Yeah, yeah, that's and that's what I've found throughout this whole thing. The giving back, the helping, what all the different organizations,
Yeah,
the community
it's
center
been
and stuff like
it,
that, which I know you're a big part of. All the give back, and as islanders and longtime residents here, whatnot, I'm thrilled at the response that people are getting.
well, it's been really wonderful that people have kind of stuck together, excuse me, and come out to help people. I know that the churches has been going around and pitching in, and these different trailer parks, and helping out and helping these elderly people that are really lost.
Yeah.
And some people, and even for myself, I mean, I've never felt as helpless as I did when that second storm came. That just, how could this happen so fast?
Mm-hmm.
It's but it's really heartwarming to see that everybody came together the way they did, and even with the traffic lights not working and this and that, and people were still polite, and pretty much to the everybody's in the same boat.
Yeah, some of the stuff you read and whatnot with the internet and everything, it seems like things are going to hell in a handbasket. Where in reality, what we're seeing is people like yourself and other people in the community that are really helping out. And that community that we have here is pretty spectacular. I mean, I think we're going to come back stronger than ever.
Oh, I do too. And I think that there's lessons to be learned for everybody, and it lets you know how vulnerable you are in the whole scheme of life. That all of a sudden you could be on top of the world, and within a week your world's turned upside down.
Yeah.
You could lose everything. But it's yeah, it just shows how resilient people are, and it's really a nice thing to see.
Well, cool. Well, I really appreciate you letting me come in and do this. This is something new and kind of weird that I'm doing, but we've gotten such a good response from everything from going through these storms and everything, that I felt this was some way of giving back also, and highlighting businesses and friends and people that have been here for a long time. So I appreciate you letting me do this.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it, and it's nice to it's nice to be able to share this with everybody, that let everybody know that they're not the only, that everybody's going through the same thing.
Right.
That there's been a lot of impact here. So, yeah.
Well, cool. So, I have to do this just because I want my face on this camera too sometimes. So, yeah, make sure you come into Vintage Beach and check out Joe Hutchinson and the girls working here. Support these guys and gals here on the island, and take your time. Come in. He's got a lot of great stuff, and your wives, your girlfriends. It's Halloween. It's time to buy them some presents and stuff. So. Come see Joe at Vintage Beach here at 5500 Marina Drive, Holmes Beach. The only reason I can say that is my office is right behind him, so I know the address. So thanks again, and we'll see y'all on the next one.